Hey y'all, Delusions of Hope, back in action. Um, Getting my life straightened out. Finally decided to get my YouTube channel up and going. Card games coming along amazing for those of you who have followed me. So thought I'd get my YouTube channel back up, fired up. Start sharing my love for collectible card games again. So I'm hoping to do two videos tonight. The first one's going to be on Hearthstone, and the other one's going to be on the main game I play, and that's Infinity Wars. So I'm just going to do some deck techs over the next couple weeks until I can get some good gameplay footage for each of them. I do plan on bringing you some of the MMOs I play, but all I can really do for those is specs and um, talent builds for like World of Warcraft and stuff, just because my computer can't quite handle it yet. But I do plan on, once I get a better computer, to bring you some YouTube videos on showing you how to play set specs and whatnot. But I can definitely bring you some, CCG, TCG coverage. I really plan on for this channel to be all about, the casual player that, just maybe wants to take his game a little bit further. I consider myself competitive casual. I play casual decks. I play decks that, that I've kind of either seen the net deck and tweaked it to my liking, or I've come up with it on my own. Like I'm going to show you one today. Or, but I still play, the best I can. But I don't like playing, I don't like to min max, and I don't like to, take my game that far, just because I enjoy a game for what it is, and that's just the game. So anyway, just to get started, I'm going to show you a project I've been working on for a while. It's called Bouncy Castle, and it's a rogue deck. And you don't see a lot of the rogue decks around anymore, just because the only ones you really see are Miracle Rogue. But this deck is a little different. I enjoy it. It works about 50-50. It's a gimmick deck, so stick with it. But we'll go ahead and start with the zero drops. The first one is Backstab, and I do run two. Backstab is just an amazing card to combo with, and I do run several combo cards in here, so it's a good combo starter. But it's also good to just, flat out deal with like knife jugglers and just two toughness creatures for free. Um, One of the main parts of the deck, and why it's called Bouncy Castle, is Shadow Step. Shadow Step's an amazing card. It serves a couple purposes. I can return a friendly minion to my hand, and then it costs two less. The reason it's called Bouncy Castle is because a lot of the creatures I have in here have secondary effects when they come into play. So I just like to bounce them back, attack with them, bounce them back, and then get the secondary effect again. So Shadow Step is really good for that, and Shadow Step's good for a combo enabler as well. Like if you want to get a Defiant Ringleader out, you can Shadow Step him, and then play him again and combo him. In the one slots, I have Deadly Poison. Deadly Poison is just a good way to clear any three toughness creatures out there, like Harvest Golem or something of that nature. Deadly Poison is also a great combo enabler, sitting at one. So Deadly Poison is pretty much a must run in all rogue decks, just because it's a really good card. Also at the one slot, I do run two Abusive Sergeants. He has a battle cry. When he comes into play, he gives a minion +2 to attack this turn. This is good to if you get to the point where you need to finish your opponent off, or if you use one of your smaller creatures to take out a bigger creature. He's also a good combo enabler because he's at one, and he is a good target to bounce because you can get multiple uses out of him in a turn to, possibly go lethal when you otherwise don't think you could. Um, the next one that I want at the one drop is Elven Archer. I do play. I do go back and forth on her, but with all the aggro decks recently, she's been really good to me. She's been sniping a lot of priestesses and Marlocks. And she's also another good bounce target for Shadow Step or the Brewmasters, which we'll get to here in a minute. And she's also a good combo enabler at one as well. So anything from here on up is usually what you will build your combos off of. At the two slot, I have Eviscerate, and it's a two caster that deals two damage, but you can combo it for four damage instead. And this deck has so many ways to combo it off so early that it's usually a good removal to get your creatures through. But you can also go lethal with it to the face if you got to push through that last 8 points of damage if you've got two of them in your hand. Sap is a two caster that returns an enemy minion to your opponent's hand. This is just a good tempo card. If you start playing your early drops and you want to keep the tempo going. Plus, it's a good answer for taunts. and stuff late game. Like if they drop a Ragnaros or Ysera, you can just return it to their hand and keep the pressure on and hopefully kill them before they can establish board control. It's honestly it's better against control decks than aggro matchups, but every once in a while it does work in aggro matches. Defias Ringleader is another two caster we run. It's a 2-2 for 2, but you can combo it, which, if you don't know, combo is you gotta play a card before it in order to combo, so that's why, like, Backstab and Deadly Poison are really good combo cards because they're cheap. And he creates a 2-1 Defias Bandit, so, this card's really good, especially if you're on the, if you're going second, have the coin, because you can go, turn one coin, that counts as a spell, and then you can combo into a 2-2 and a 2-1 on turn one, which is pretty powerful. Next to the two drop slot, and kind of the engine of the deck is Youthful Brewmaster. He's a 3-2 for 2, so he's got good stats to begin with, but he returns a friendly minion from the battlefield to your hand. He's really good because you can attack with something, and then you can play like or return an Abusive Sergeant to get the +2 attack from him again, or the Elvish Archer, or the Defias Ringleader to get another body on the board, or some of the stuff that we'll get later on. At the 3 slot, I run two Earthen Ring Farseers. This deck has been known to just, weapon on the board for several turns just to keep board control until you can establish board control. Then you play him just to gain the life back, and he does work well with, like, say, Shadow Step. You can attack with him and then bounce him back to get another 3 life. SI 7 Agent is the other 3 caster I run. He has a combo of deal 2 damage, so he works really well, especially with, say, like Backstab. For 3 mana, you can Backstab and deal 2 damage, so you can clear a 4 power, or excuse me, a 4 toughness creature for 3 mana, which is really good. So, and he's also good for going if you need, if there's a stalemate on the board, he's good for, play him, deal 2 damage, bounce him, deal 2 damage, bounce him maybe one more time, and then deal 2 more damage just to get lethal through if they've got a lot of taunt creatures out. At the 4 slot, I run Ancient Brewmasters, and I do run 2 of them. He has a battle cry of return a minion from the battlefield to your hand. So he's got decent stats for being a 4 drop, but he also has the same effect to bounce a creature back to your hand, thus part of the deck called Bouncy Castle. He can for 7 mana return an SI 7 agent, put it back into play and deal 2 damage to a target, or say return an Abusive Sergeant to get +2 to something, or an Elvis Archer if you need to pick something off. I do go back and forth on this, but I've found myself when I play the deck that I'm pretty heavy on the 2 drops, so I don't run Owl, but I do run Spellbreaker. He's a 4 caster 4/3 that when he comes into play silence a minion, and I like him because he does help fill out my curve later in the game, but he also has the bigger body, which is nice. So for what maybe 6 mana, 4 to play him, and then you play Shadow Step and he costs 2 less. So for 6 mana you can silence 2, or for 6 mana you can silence, play him, return him to your hand, and then silence something next turn. Yeah, he's a little bit more expensive, but I feel that the drops that I have in now at the 2 slot are more better served to what I have now instead of Owl. I do change it in and out depending on what I'm running into and in the meta, but for right now, Spellbreaker seems to be working pretty good. At the 5 slot, I do run 2 Assassinates. A lot of people don't like Assassinate because they think it costs too much, but I find it just is just a good kill all for anything that's on the board. Be it any legendaries or taunts or something. It outright kills them. And now the at the 6 drop, and I really wish Blizzard would buff this guy a little bit because he doesn't see a lot of play. But I've actually soft locked people going into late game with him because when you combo, he returns a minion to his owner's hand. So you play him after you play something cheap, return something. Next turn, bounce him, play him again, bounce him, play him again, and just rinse and repeat until you win. I've done it in probably, I can't really say a percentage of my games, but you can soft lock an opponent if they're playing higher end stuff if they can't deal with them. So that's the deck. It's fun to play. It's very very intricate. It's very a lot of decision making, but I do play with and do play with it. I do play with it in casual quite a bit. So it's something I have fun with. I hope you guys like the deck. If you do, feel free to leave a comment. I'm always open to suggestions for it. But like I said, I hope to bring some more videos to you guys because I want to bring a place to, where people can just can't come hang out. Laugh, have fun. Get away from the serious competitive scene and just, talk shop about really crazy decks that that you think might work, and you want to talk, throw your ideas around and just have fun. And that's what I really hope to bring to this channel. So, anyway, guys, this is the first video to what I'm hoping is going to be a good series of videos down the road. But if you've got any questions, feel free to hit me up. Once I get a few videos up, I'll leave my in-game names for all the card games that I play because I plan on bringing 3 or 4 different card games in this channel. So hope you guys liked it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and look forward to seeing you guys on the battlefield.